Greetings YouTube, it's your boy Freelancer Joe here once again to wow and amaze with a vlog entry. Yeah, not my best intro, which is saying a lot. But nevertheless, here I am, and hopefully here you are too. I am continuing once again for the folks that have the honor and privilege of being my first client, the Bella Music School, located in Leonardstown, Maryland. I say they're honored and privileged, but truth be told, I'm the one who's honored and privileged to be given the opportunity to work for fine and good folk, and to actually be able to do something that people will actually want. Can't really give more details than that without going into the long, storied, and very, very boring work history that I have, which probably wouldn't be very different from the rest of my videos. That's sad. Saying a lot. But, you know what? Let's get cracking. I remember it this time. So proud of myself. Maybe that ginkgo biloba actually is helping. Alright, so let's go ahead and lower the resolution on this and make it smaller. Get me out of the way. I'm a big man, so it's impossible really to get me completely out of the way. And let's take a look at what I have so far. Alright, so where we left off yesterday was I had merely set up the framework, and yeah, that was it. Got it up and running. And when I ended, I continued work because even though I'm not recording, I'm still working. That's just who Freelancer Joe is. And I added the placeholders for their current pages. You know, let's go ahead and bring it up right now. So currently they have home, info, staff, learning tree, services, privacy and security, and contact. And so I went ahead and added those here. And right now they're placeholders, but this is kind of more, I'm going to go ahead and replicate what they currently have so that they can kind of see how it translates over to the new layout, and then we'll go ahead and make adjustments as needed. I also added in a placeholder for login because one of the future things that they want to be able to have is online billing, invoicing, and scheduling, that kind of thing. So it helps to have a placeholder for that. Ideally, at least has been my observation, that you generally want the navigation items at the top of the page, at least for a site. A pure application is kind of different. And then you would have the functions contained within the sides. Well, navigation at the top and the bottom of the page. That's why I think, for example, in the future, what it's actually going to be is kind of have your info, which includes your staff. So services, I would actually have services first because that's one of the first things you want your users to see. And then perhaps contact, and then login. Privacy and security, you know what? Okay, so services, I'd wrap learning tree underneath that. Privacy and security, you know what? I would actually have like an FAQ. In fact, I might even put I would even suggest putting info under an FAQ. But let's get the whole thing translated over first in what's going to be the new layout, and then proceed from there, because really at the end of the day I can suggest, but it's the client decision. And one of the client decisions is that they like a lighter, cleaner layout. And this is all currently based on my choices for my website, and Freelancer Joe happens to like strong contrasting borders and outlines so that you kind of know, well, at least my interpretation is that it's easier for a user to figure out what to do. But then again, I also tend to have the bad habit of overcomplicating things. Also worth noting is that I kind of try to make this almost like I want to say a picture frame or a movie frame. You get the top bar and the bottom bar and then the contents within here. But I believe what the user would like is kind of just the stop bar, and they scroll down there, and then the contact info is at the bottom. So that was more kind of, I think I just got obstinate about that. So what does that mean for the layout? Well, right now we have our root container, which has the top bar. That's this thing. Then we have these scroll bars here. The scroll bar spacers, I should say. And that's because I got obstinate and I wanted to have a very specific scroll bar function added. Something which the user's client probably is not going to want. So what that means is I can probably, I should go ahead and get rid of this, and this, and this, and just go ahead and display the actual content. So that was the scroll bars, 1 div, 2 div, if I remember correctly. Alright. And the other thing is, so we're going to want to have the bottom navigation within the actual content views themselves. It's log, okay. Typo. Log in. Log in. Of course, that means updating all the. So the layout's basically going to be your root container, your top bar, followed by your content. There's probably I'm sure there's an auto format function I could be using for this, but I find it oddly therapeutic. Assuming I remember to get everything lined up. I always kind of figured I might make a decent piano player if I ever put in the time and practice. Decent, not great. Don't exactly have the soul of an artist. And there's artistry in music. So you're just playing the sheets. No, there's interpretation to it. I don't have the ear to pick up on it. Many things in life. I know there's more to lots of things, but I just do not have the ability to appreciate it. That's not a bad thing to know, or to even understand about yourself or admit. You need to know your limitations. You need to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. And just because you can't appreciate something doesn't mean it's not worth appreciating. I hope you kind of bear that in mind when viewing my videos. Alright, what are we doing now? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move the bottom bar into the content views. Oh, why do you do this to me? Where is that? Okay, there it is. That's not it. Where'd it go? Where did it go? What I'm looking for is the code to copy and paste because, well, you know, That's what your boy Freelancer Joe does. Original stuff? Oh, don't be ridiculous. Not if I don't have to. Plus, the other thing to bear in mind is, again, this is my first foray. This is my initial foray into freelancing activities. And you have to balance how much you're able to do with how quickly you want to turn things around, as well as with how much clients are willing to pay, how long they're willing to wait. I'm used to much more lenient, longer schedules. But for a lot of freelancing activity, you're probably talking, 2 to 4 weeks maybe at the most. 3 to 6 months if you get a particularly juicy gig. But when you're starting out, you're not going to get something like that. That's just foolish to hope for. And to be honest, not entirely sure I'd be down with that. I'm going to have to copy that function over. What function you said? It's on open new window requested, which is what I use to open a new window. Okay, no. Well, I'll update it when it's time. My mind, it works like a steel trap. It's already snapped shut. I already have an idea about what I should do. So you see this cutting and pasting here? This is clearly the sort of thing that a single component could do, and you pass in the appropriate properties. So why don't you bother doing that, Joe? Well, again, these are all placeholders, though. I don't know what the final cut is going to be like. So, do I take the time engineering the perfect 100% solution, or do I just throw something together and then refine from there? I'm going to throw together the solution first and then re-engineer it as needed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a drink of my LaCroix, not LaCroix. So I already passed in a function to these views, and I did not get that right. Or did I get that? No, I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and pass in that function right there, rather than redefine it in all the other ones. And I'm going to call it on open new window requested. As you can see, a lot of this quickly becomes boilerplate things. You just add. That's awfully mindless. When you think about it, how much of our lives truly are often that mindless? That's strange. I already have it there. Oh. I already defined it. Interesting. Gotta pay attention to what I'm cutting and pasting. And I have to remember to add it to all the views. Right view. Okay, there we go. So it's defined there. I don't bind it though. I'm going to bind it just to be sure since I'm referencing it. Alright, where was I? Boilerplate. Okay, right. Passing this up. Four matches, good. 4 matches, all matches. Alright, okay, so that's looking good. We pass it in, now we need to reference it. And that becomes this props, and now we add it to all the views once again. Now, assuming it works the first time, which when it comes to your boy Freelancer Joe is a very large assumption. The formatting is still going to be off, I believe. I don't think this will take it correctly. Okay, but what have I done? Alright, so I removed the scroll bars, and I've made the root container, root view container, contain just the top bar and the content views. And the content views themselves will have the content as well as the bottom bar. Let's double check to make sure. This root, pane root, flex comp. I bet you that should be flex start, but let's see if it even works first, which it doesn't. Oh, wait, I didn't have the import. I did, but the path is wrong. I hope you all had a nice day today. I had a pretty good one myself. Weather's been nice. It was real nice today. Kind of day, if I were still in college, in school, I would play hooky with my buddy and we'd go play tennis. Well, play tennis. Never learned how to serve. Alright. So, as you can see, the home view has the bottom bar, and as expected the format's all off, but alright. Info, you can't make it out, staff, tree green, and just making sure everything's still all wired up correctly. Alright, contact, login. Alright, and let's verify that the open new window works. Yep, the open new window works. Woo, look at that. I want to smile more in my videos. Alright. So that works. Alright, so first thing let's play around with the style. See if we can get... That's fine. Bar root, you're fine. Yeah. Alright. So as I suspected, and I probably don't need that. And what if I make this flux start? Okay. And what if I make this white? Alright. So we'll go, yeah, we're going to need to fix all those, but for now. So, justified content, this will start things at the top. You don't need to worry about this, background color. Ooh. Primary main. Oh no, wait, I actually define that in my config. My config, don't I? Yes, I do. What color is this? Is this red? I think this is red. Yep, red. Red. Well, to be honest, the primary is actually going to be white. Contrast text black. Secondaries, if what I'm thinking is correct, well, that really depends on what the client decides to go with. I'm working with my boy Kerry at the wonderful Digital Graphics. So, yeah, we'll go with contrast text, because I know that's white. Now let's see, I bet you I don't use this anymore. I do. Where do I use this? Actually, you know what? That should be thrown in error. Probably is. Now, in this case, I know I normally don't bother cleaning things up, but this only occurs in this particular component. I'm not going to add it back in. It really is a pain to go with custom scroll bars. And if you've got a nice simple layout, there's not really much of a point. Alright, what did I just do? In theory, okay. In theory, if I refresh this, the entire background should be white. Except for this. What is this? I wonder who's coming up with that. Well, let's see. Alright. Info stuff, okay, alright. Nope. if it's not in the view container, it should be the root container. And above the root container is the index.js. And above the index.js is index.html, which uses a CSS. And yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. Thank you, autocomplete. And bada boom. There we go. Let me see if I can go ahead and change the bottom bar real quick. At the risk of running just a little bit long. No, it's not the bottom bar. It's not the bottom bar at all, is it? You're 100. You're 100. No, it's the contents. The contents. No, don't care about you. You. Yes, you. The non-styled content divs. Alright, well, applying style means I'll have to apply it to all of them, and that will definitely take me long. Basically, the content component, which contains the content as well as the bottom bar, I didn't apply any styles to it, so it's only sizing up to what it believes it needs to be. And it doesn't have a layout control on it either, so I'm going to basically do that next. But rather than keep you here with all of that and have this video go long, I will cut it short today. Continue working on that. Gonna do that. So hopefully next time when you come back on, at least the bottom bar will be spread out better. We'll have more spacing. We won't have the red. And I might go ahead and change the style of the top bar too, to be more in line with what I believe the client wants. Yeah, so I will leave it at that for now, or at least leave it as far as the video is concerned for now. I'm still going to keep working. And thank you for joining me. The usual routine, comments, suggestions down below, like, subscribe if you feel so inclined to do so, and take care and God bless.